What some of us will not support is anybody deciding who should be our leader. It's purely a Nigerian thing. But if they are reminding us that what is accepted in our constitution, what is acceptable in other standards, we should do it.
Yeah, I understand maybe 20% of what he just said, but here's my issue. If we go in and we help, we then decide the rules. How about that? Okay? That's it. And I was actually going to try and lie to you in this segment. But as a trick.
We thought better of it.
As a trick. And then I realized the numbers just wouldn't make sense. So I was going to give you these numbers and just not use the word Christians so that you would think, oh, Palestine. But then I realized the numbers are too big because there are far too many Christians who are being persecuted and killed and their churches burned down where you wouldn't be able to fit that number in Palestine. So 2024, here are the figures before we get to Nigeria. But a lot of people don't pay this any mind, and it's pretty important. 365 million Christians across the world are subjected to very high levels of persecution, including, by the way, torture and execution. That's 1 in 7 worldwide. That's 1 in 5 in Africa alone. And in 2024, over 14,000, almost 15,000 places of Christian worship were attacked. So, for the past 2 years, you haven't really heard a lot about this from the media. You probably would think, hey, the largest group of people being persecuted in the world right now would be the Palestinians, if we're going to use that term, even though they're not really a thing.
Israel is on trial for genocide at the International Court of Justice.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Stop killing children, stop the war.
We're going to keep fighting until the genocide ends and until Palestine is free.
Palestinians pray for an end to the war that followed, killing more than 66,000 in Gaza.
Many pro-Palestinian protesters insist their movement is peaceful.
Violence has no place on this movement.
Okay, terrorist 80s era Patrick Dempsey.
Some of the incidents that has happened.
Free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Free Palestine! I'm dead ass.
Bro, dead ass.
He means that.
The protests calling for colleges to divest from companies with ties to Israel now spreading to other campuses. Today, at least 45 people arrested at Yale University. At NYU, a standoff with police.
A grey landscape of rubble is now all that remains of Gaza. Almost the entire strip has been razed.
And now, just to be clear, of course, as long as people keep it peaceful, they have the right to protest. They have the right to make their voices heard. Just want to be clear about that. But let's also be honest here. The selective outrage often doesn't make sense. If you go look at the plight of these Christians, look at the persecution of these Christians. You can even go back to when we had refugees, for example, from Syria. You would think that Christian refugees from Syria back then, right, who were being burned alive and thrown off buildings, they would be the first ones granted entry. They made up less than 1% of refugees coming from these countries. It's selective based on one criteria. Are these people the oppressed? And for them, it's not oppressed. They don't even mean it as a moral judgment. They mean, are they less successful? In other words, you could have a moral billionaire, a moral frontrunner, a moral government, and you could have an oppressed evil person. They would side with that person. That's how you get people waving both LGBTQ AIP rainbow flags and Palestinian flags side by side, even though they don't match up. It's as silly as the coexist bumper sticker. That crescent moon wants to eat all the other letters. It's why they never mention something like Nigeria. And President Trump dropped this on Truth Social this week, and it's been obviously making a lot of waves. He wrote, if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country. Quote, guns a-blazing. I'll let you interpret that as you will. To completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities, I am hereby instructing our Department of War, and that's what it is, to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, so vicious, and sweet. Both vicious and sweet.
It's my favorite kind of candy.
Like sweet and sour, a little spice, a little not very nice. Just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians, warning the Nigerian government better move fast. And I know that many of you run very fast. And
Watch the
Nigeria,
Olympics.
as I understand, is already preparing their air force for counter operations. You don't scare me, Nigerian Air Force.
Baby steps, okay? It's a process.
So let me give you the reaction from the left. Adam Tooze, a Columbia University professor, he wrote, "This arbitrary intrusion into the internal affairs of Nigeria, a 21st century Goliath in the service of Christian nationalist zealotry and grandstanding must count as yet another low point in this phase of U.S. history." Now, I understand, and I think I would largely agree with, as much as it breaks your heart, it's probably not our job to go into Nigeria. But people like this want us to help establish a two-state solution in Israel.
Right.
Either we need to withdraw, let the world hash out their own crap until it affects us, or you need to be consistent in your interventionism. And the left never is. And then there are quite a few on the right who, frankly, have irreconcilable positions. Here's from the Daily Beast. Trump, 79, threatens war on crucial U.S. ally in Mad Truth social rant.
Crucial?
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, I'm sure there are ways that
When I think most important ally, I think crucial, you probably think maybe Taiwan, maybe Japan. Nigeria, Daily Beast says. Oh, no, what will we do?
Yeah, I think we're misusing that word.
And here's what's funny, the Nigerian reaction. So here's a reaction from one of their from their government, which is they'll take our help, right? They'll take our help, but nothing is happening. What he's saying is not true. But we'll take help, but help for nothing.
Nigeria said on Sunday it would welcome U.S. help fighting Islamist insurgents, but only if its territorial integrity is respected. Nigeria denies all claims of Christian persecution.
All?
Speaking in Washington,
Leave a little
Presidential
room.
Advisor Daniel Bwala said outdated reports were being misused.
He has a hat rack at his door.
He said the situation was an opportunity to engage the U.S. in finding common ground.
Stop at the men's warehouse at the airport.
report or notion that there is a Christian persecution or genocide in Nigeria
As an indoor hat.
John
he wears.
Joseph Hayab is the Northern Nigeria chairman of the country's Christian Association. He supports U.S. intervention over religious violence, but said he opposed any foreign influence on the country's leadership.
What some of us will not support is anybody deciding who should be our leader. It's purely a Nigerian thing. But if they are reminding us that what is accepted in our constitution, what is acceptable in other standards, we should do it.
Yeah, I understand maybe 20% of what he just said, but here's my issue. If we go in and we help, we then decide the rules. How about that? Okay? That's it. If you want our help, all right. Then you accept our law as the law of the land. We choose. Why? Because you guys haven't figured it out. That's my opinion. It's terrible. My heart goes out to everyone who's being massacred. Mm-hmm. But it's not our job to go in and fix it for you and then let you screw it up again, just insert a couple of decades here.
Yeah, I mean, we know what we're doing. We have sinks in every house.
Yes,
so.
Pretty much. Yeah. Which,
roads.
And roads.
That's a big one.
Yep. And roads, electricity.
They have some of that in some places.
Drink in some places, but not all places.
Not all.
Not all places.
Not all.
Nicki Minaj, surprisingly often the voice of reason these days.
Weird.
Wrote, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We can live in a country where we freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. In contrast to Cardi B, who said,
Is that her new song?
Yeah.
On camera.
How do you spell that? THP?
I think it's spelled the same as WAP.
Oh.
Just played it for you.
WAP. But Nicki Minaj even offered President Trump a guest spot in her upcoming re-release. That black can sing. So, back to the atrocities. This year,
Yes.
there have been 7,000 Christians killed in Nigeria. That's 35 per day.
Wow.
Think about that. Since 2009, 50 to 100,000 Christians have been killed, and it's hard to get the real numbers because the Nigerians not known for their great record keeping.
No.
And here is what that has looked like in practice. Obviously, fair warning.
Jeez.
It's awful.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not seeing people fall down, but
Oh, it's far away.
No, I know, that's what I mean.
It is the same method of attack that was conducted. It's the killing, the maiming of people, slaughtering them, and burning of their houses and their foodstuffs and properties.
Allahu Akbar. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Mun gode wa Allah, wannan shine baraki na wani gari na suna shi bala sun zo.
Please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria. Massacre Christians.
And I remember you had a slight disagreement with me, and not to start an argument, but when I said the only way this works is if you kill their leaders and convert them to Christianity, that's what I mean. You can't have leaders say nothing's going on here. You can't have leaders who allow Christians to be persecuted and slaughtered and send money, or at that point even send bombs. You have to take out the people who preclude their citizens from being able to convert of their own free will. It doesn't work otherwise. Now, unfortunately, we would be accused of colonialism. But it doesn't work. It's, okay, you, dead, leadership that's failed the people, domestic terrorists in this country who are killing Christians, dead, and we're going to install in positions of leadership those who are on board with Western civilization and Christianity. Otherwise, you will end up at the exact same impasse in a decade, could be 2 years, could be 20 years from now. That's how this goes.
I don't disagree. I just think we have a really, you can't nation build. It just doesn't work.
Right. So all in or out.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's one of those things where we go in and do whatever we want to do to protect Christians, and then we go, and we're done. And if you guys, whatever we want to do, and that could be nothing right now. That could be like, hey, listen, you guys have to figure this out. Or it could be arming militias that are going against those people just to give them some security or whatever. I think there are a lot of ways to do it. We're just bad at nation building, and we've never converted by the sword. It just isn't a thing. And I don't know that it would work.
No, but I understand that. But right now, people are being prevented from converting by the sword. That's the problem. That's the problem. Christian missionaries and Christian societies, they were really acting more so as, in most cases, not all, as a shield, going, all right, we're going to allow you the chance to accept Christ at this point. And then you look at those societies, there were plenty of people who didn't. Islam goes, we are only going to give you the opportunity to convert to Islam at the tip of a sword. But if these people can't convert, again, they're being prevented at the tip of a sword, we have to remove that sword. That requires a sword of our own. And that requires removing those people with swords. I don't think that people really know what that looks like, and I don't think that Americans have the stomach for it. So for me, it's either we're all in or we're all out. Right now, I think the only realistic approach is all out. I don't think that this goes well unless you go in, kill a lot of people, and only allow leaders who are sympathetic to Western civilization and Christianity. Otherwise, I just think it's a turnstile. And I will say, Secretary of the Department of War, Pete Hegseth, being a very good teammate, said, yes, sir. Yes, President. The killing of innocent Christians in Nigeria must stop. He said that they were ready for action. But I will tell you this, I appreciate it, it won't work. It won't work because a major issue, and this is actually according to Sarah Adams, who's done some good reporting on this, is it's a Fulani, that's a group of Muslim herders. Mm-hmm. And she wrote they're responsible for roughly 55% of the Christian massacres. The actual Islamists like ISIS and Boko Haram are less than 8% of the killings. So they would have to be the target. Many of them live with their families in mixed settled communities, so the strikes would cause massive collateral damage. They aren't hanging out inside of terrorist camps like ISIS does in a war zone. No matter what the DOD says, you can't bomb your way out of this problem. And it's true. It's a sticky situation. I think it's good to raise awareness.
Yes.
Because Christians are still far more persecuted in this world right now than Muslims.
So this isn't happening by the government. It's happening by these Fulani, which sounds like Fugazi. Which
it does, yeah.
They are, and the government stands idly by and then claims nothing is happening, which is effectively giving them cover. But
do you think there's any hope to that threat that he made about cutting off all aid and all help to Nigeria until the government steps in and takes care of it? Do you think?
I think that's a part that I would agree with. I think we need to cut off all aid to Africa, period. Because think about
Let them handle their own business.
Yep.
Is what I say. If you're a Christian, you don't want to be massacred. Maybe you join that Nigerian army and you go out there and take care of these Fugazis.
Yes, exactly. But think about that leader who just said, oh, sure, we welcome the aid, but nothing is happening. Well, just remember, the aid is going through that guy, that government. We've made Africa worse.
And his nice new bowler's hat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've made
Is that where their money went? To your checkered shirt and your hat?
Guarantee you those in the government live like kings.
Yeah.
Where many African continents, we covered the Live Aid, remember that famous concert that was a scam?
Yeah.
You are enabling these governments, as long as the corruption is still there, giving them more money only exacerbates the problem.
Right.
So I'd say start with that. We're pulling everything out. Then see what happens. And then if it's some kind of intervention that the American people support and we think makes sense, and it really has to be in our national interest, fine. Outside of that, there are atrocities across the world. It's terrible. My heart goes out to them. I'm glad that there's awareness now of this. But I don't support any type of intervention. I do support just withdrawing our funds until they get it right. Also, we need to check back in with the Nigerian Air Force. Apparently, they're making progress. Do you think they just got their first chopper and didn't read the instruction manual at all?
Also, like, he didn't make any effort to not be on them anymore. Like, I better take back off.
No.
It looked more like a miscommunication. Like, they were like, hey, we're landing the plane, or we're landing the helicopter, right? No, we're going to fast rope. Okay, we're landing it. No!
I'm going to land it. What'd he say? Time for you to land. Okay.
Jump. It will be okay.
Like at the point that they jumped out on the ropes, even tossed out there, it was too late.
Yeah.
You tossed out the ropes too late already.
Has to be some really soft ground, else that first guy is dead.
Wait. It's a mix of fast rope and land on you.
Guys, it's the cradle of civilization, you sons of bitches.
I'm sorry, I forgot you phrases and all that.
It's 2025 there too.
Not really.
And and when people say colonialism, it's like, okay, so the flip side of that is giving a ton of money, where in some of these countries, 60% of all of their revenue collected, generated, came from United States subsidies, aid. And we let them run it themselves. It's the opposite of colonialism.
Here's $1 million. Thank you for the kindling.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Warmth.
So, what do you guys? Do you understand? You understand the idea of going in and nation build? It doesn't work, and that's why I say unless it serves our national interest. But we give them money, and they are free to do whatever they want with it. They've never gotten it right.
The only way it would work is actual colonialism.
Yeah. Yep.
Or imperialism.
That's
going
the only way it would work.
Setting up,
setting up shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Colony.
Yep.
Wasn't such a bad idea. I mean, listen, there was some stuff that happened. I'll give you that.
Well, the British did an okay job at it.
Yeah,
they had trade routes, and they put the people of the country to work, made them rich, made them successful. And then they bounced real quick, and then those countries went to shit.
But pretty much. What do you think happens if the United States didn't come into North America? You sure about that? That horseback, peace-loving culture of Native Americans? It looks like that without the chopper. So,
yeah.
thank God for the New World.
Isn't it fun that we named all of our helicopters after Native Americans?
It is fun.
Apache, Chinook.
I wonder if there was any.
Probably.
Chinook,
Black Hawk. Yeah, Black Hawk.
What else do we have?
The Cobra. That's not. Was Cobra? It's just it's a snake.
That's,
I know
that's
that. That's a Marine one. The other ones are Army.
Yeah. Although interestingly enough,
Kiowa. Kiowa's another helicopter.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a Kiowa.
All the Army helicopters are named after Native tribes.
Oh, well, there you go.
I haven't seen that.
Well, you pretty much just covered like 2/3 of the Black Hills.
Yeah, and we can take you all out with one of the helicopters.
I was named after my friend the Apache because he sounded like, he too sounded like. So the name is apt.
When he peed.
Yeah.
That's a Kiowa.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like old school 80s like.
And then there's another helicopter where I forget what the actual name is, but the nomenclature, but they call it Little Bird.
Do they?
Which isn't a tribe, but it sounds like a Native American name.
Yeah, well, but that's one of those ironic nicknames because it's not that little.
But it is.
So we call it Little Bird because it's big.
Oh. Yeah, that's what they would do.
We like to have a laugh here in our tribe.
That's them laughing?
I guess.
I thought it was a chant.
That's what it is.
The whole time it's
you never perform at a Native American comedy club? You hit a good joke with a
not yet.
Yeah.
I heard they pay in drink tickets, though.
That's the Lakota as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's true. I'll be performing at the Canarsie Reservation Casino, and it's a 2 Windex minimum. So please.
These jokes are firewater.
Wow.
Hey.
Yes, I'll have a Huff paint thinner on the beach, please.
Oh, you're still here watching this on YouTube? There's no more. It's over. Just like YouTube. YouTube is over. It's not a thing anymore. How many Seth Meyers clips do you need? Head on over to Rumble. Follow me there. Live on weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we can actually speak freely and don't have to self-censor. YouTube it's really not a thing. Like, you ever seen one of those towns that maybe was like a mining town, or maybe they made some kind of alloy? You say, hey, I wonder what they did in this town. It takes a while to find a person who can tell you what they did in that town, and even then you don't fully understand it. That's YouTube. YouTube is that town. So go to Rumble.